Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, let's get the show on the road. Steve Cash is number 25. All right, again, welcome to everyone. I'm Ken Jordan. I've been the president of the Riverbend Property Owner Association for the last year. The purpose of today's meeting is, of course, to elect new board members. We have 7 outstanding candidates, and I'm hoping that since we only have 5 slots, that the 2 who do not win seats on the board will be as active as some people like Mr. Ed Dykeman and his wife have been with their committee. And we always need all the help we can get, even if you don't live in the area. There are things that you can do to help us. Is my level okay, Ed?
Yeah, it's kind of great.
All right, good. There's one more, my phone. All right, okay, so to begin with, here is the agenda. Move this aside a little bit. Can everybody see that okay? All right, that's a wonderful new sign that was painted up at the front of the development a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. So basically, we're calling it to order at 1:07. Since Don Lytle is at the firehouse, I'm going to be the secretary today. All right, looks like we had one more person come in. All right. There's Don. Good. That may mean we have connectivity at the firehouse. We'll ask her when we get here. At any rate, according to the records of Cedar Management Group, there are currently 684 Riverbend property owners in good standing. Participation by 30% or more of the members in good standing, or 205, is required to establish a quorum. As of yesterday, we received 236 ballots and proxies, so I'm declaring that we have a quorum. And if Dawn is up, there's Karen. Even more, okay. People be, pardon me, I'm not a, I used to multitask, but I gave it up. It already gave me up, I'm not sure which. All right, so where did Dawn go? I'm sure there's a way to sort these names. At any rate, oh, there's Dawn. Hello, Dawn with a mask.
Must be muted.
Outside the firehouse. Hello, Dawn. We'll get an update here on the firehouse. Hi, Dawn. How are things going out there?
Here at the library?
Oh, you came up on the firehouse. Okay, good.
I had to come outside to get reception, and I'm on my phone, and some other people are inside on their phone.
Okay, I saw several iPhones. We only have one anonymous person, but I'm glad you figured out how to join us. That's great. So I've just declared a quorum because we have over 236 ballots to date, and we're accepting more out of the firehouse. The basic agenda here is we will have the minutes of last year's annual meeting were approved by the board on the 8th of October.
The link and it didn't open right up, huh?
And I will not be able to introduce Susan Lucas to you right now because they still don't have connectivity, but she is the chair of the Riverbend Homeowners Election Committee. She met with several people yesterday, her team, and they went through, validated each of the, ignore that phone, validated each of the ballots and proxies that have been received to make sure that those people were in good standing. and began tallying there. So today they'll be collecting ballots and proxies at the firehouse until 2 o'clock. At that point, then we will have a report from her as to the folks who will be on the board in the coming year. This also puts a little bit of a damper on things if we don't have connectivity at the firehouse, because Jim Campbell is out there as well. And he's the one who's put together the budget, but I can certainly review it with you. It is fairly straightforward. And today's not a day when we get into line item discussions. It's more a matter of just informing the members of the general categories of expenses that we've seen and what we anticipate for the coming year. Additionally, it's a proposed budget. We will ratify it, but of course the incoming board will be the ones who decide how to really distribute the funds. This is just giving them a framework that, based on the accounting background of Jim Campbell and others on the board, that makes the most sense as to with the amount of funds we come in, how they get distributed. So we'll go over that. And then Ed Dykman is here to talk about the security committee. Hopefully Liz Pfister and others will be here to talk about their committees. Then we'll have the election results. Pardon when I close my door. This is informal, in case you haven't figured it out. Informal. Informal, yes. And then I'll say a few words, really very few words, and we will adjourn. All right. So let's see. All right. So I basically explained the election process already. So we will go on next to the budget. So what we have at the top here is for beginning July 2020 to June 2020, proposed budget. And we have 2 more people I will be admitting here. And so the bank balance as of June 30th, 2020 is $307,150. Okay. We estimated the collection in prior years that were delinquent is 584,000. That's 5%. Those who were delinquent even earlier than that, beginning in 2019-2020, is $45,000, 45 lots, as you can see. And those that were still collecting for this year's dues is 95,204 lots. So if we indeed collect all of that, there's Kim Gissendatter coming to the meeting. Once we collect all of that, we would then have impact fees estimated to come in at $20,000, other receipts of $5,000. Add all of that together, we're expecting total dues there would be $431,150. Then we come down to the expenses here. Currently, we're budgeting for $3,500 a month for 12 months. That's what we've been paying Cedar Management. That contract is going to end the 1st of November, however, so this will be a different number, it'll be lower. We do not own any equipment, so we have no expenses for that. We anticipate 12 months of $50 a month for bank charges. We're proposing, again, these proposals are in here just to give some guidance to the incoming board. There have been no decisions made about these expenditures. This is what we're suggesting based on the year's experience in running the organization. So proposal would be a staff person on site 20 hours a week, $19.23 an hour, 52 weeks, that's $20,000. Guy, did you have a comment or you just?
No, I'm still playing with my phone trying to figure this out.
Good luck. When you can become the expert on that.
No.
Another proposal is maintenance person, $25, 50 hours a week. And that would be $15,000. Again, these are proposals. These are nothing that we're committed to. Then cleaning, like for the bathrooms, et cetera, up at the pavilion, etc. It's another $1,000 a year. We have dues and subscriptions anticipated of $600. See, there's no detail on that yet. We know we're going to have to do some more repairs on the gates, maybe some new equipment because they're past their prime. Anticipating $10,000 expense on that. We do have liability insurance that's in place, and this is the cost of that. With Don's help, we've been working out what proposed road maintenance. We've been working out what the proposed road maintenance costs would be, and that's $300 a month. I'm sorry, I skipped down. $12,000 a month, $144,000 over the coming year, and then we include $800 per mowing for the things that keep the sides of the road under control. Potentially also we're looking at maybe an office rental of $300 a month for another $3,600. Printing the mailings, we recognize every year we're obligated to have at least 2 mailings, and those have been running about $1,500 a mailing. And then potential supplies, $100 a month, miscellaneous really. And then our website, Kim Gissendatter has been working on the website for us. So that's a minimal expense then because we haven't had to pay for his service. Professional fees, we anticipate another $7,500 just to keep us legal. $2,400, that's $200 a month for accounting. We still continue to need payroll for the gate staff. That's $300 a quarter. Payroll expenses for the gate operations is $40,040, and that's 52 weeks of the year we have people at the gate. And then payroll related expenses, another $72.50. Property taxes, we have 17 POA lots, so that's $1,250 a year. Other taxes, maybe $385. Our trash collection is costing $1,300 a month, $15,500 a year. Telephone expense is $6,000. Internet is $1,200, and that's necessary for communication between the gate and the gate people and the equipment that we have, as well as having email and phone service there, and then electric costs. 12,000 contingencies. Total expenses then leave us with an excess of $70,000. Anticipate we put 25 of that into reserves. And obviously the reserves are there for a rainy day fund, for lack of a better term, which probably is more relevant to our road conditions than anything else. But we never know what's going to happen. And to this point, for 40 plus years, I understand at one point we did have a reserve fund. It just happened to have no money in it. So this is basically the best estimate of our expenses and what proposing that the new board, how the new board spend money. Don, are you asking a question?
No, sorry.
Is that, I think I probably went into too much detail on that, but I think you can see we're doing as much as we can to be physically responsible. And unlike previous years, these numbers actually add up. It just fascinates me that math still works with our budget. That's facetious, by the way, in case you're wondering. All right, now Mr. Dykeman is going to bring us up to speed on the security committee activity this year.
The Riverbend Security Committee reports each month to the Riverbend Property Owners Association Board of Directors. Each month, we make recommendations for board action, report progress on ongoing tasks, and introduce new tasks, all in the area of security and safety. The following summarizes our work for the past 12 months, accomplished with the help of a dedicated group of volunteers. To begin with, we formed the Riverbend Neighborhood Watch to identify the 3 top areas of security and safety concern within Riverbend. 1, poor communication. 2, unauthorized access. And 3, irresponsible and obstructive driving. We sought advice from the local area law enforcement officers to address each of these concerns. In the area of poor communication, we integrated the Code Enforcement Officer or CEO program within Neighborhood Watch. This is a team of volunteers that can investigate incidents reported by residents in Riverbend's common recreational areas, at our entrances, and along our roads. We developed a CEO Neighborhood Watch website that contains security forms, a Google map of Riverbend, and a video explaining what CEOs do. We developed a Riverbend Neighborhood Watch Facebook page to report security and safety concerns within Riverbend. We successfully requested the board to purchase new and fix damaged street signs and purchase and install neighborhood watch signs, stop signs, no parking signs, door control signs, and parking permission signs to help owners and guests, including first responders, to navigate and park their motor vehicles within Riverbend. We successfully requested the board to adopt and upload to the POA website security and safety rules for Riverbend owners, guests, CEOs, gate staff, and contractors, and instructions for overflow parking, blue reflective house address signs, and neighborhood watch incident reporting. We provided local law enforcement, fire departments, and EMS units with the correct codes with which to open all Riverbend gates during 911 calls. And we provided the gatehouse with a 36 by 48-inch map of Riverbend to help people navigate Riverbend's 26 miles of roads. In the area of unauthorized access to Riverbend, we developed a procedure for code enforcement officers to collect information that can help the security committee prefer charges in the Riverbend County Magistrate Court against people caught trespassing in Riverbend 2 or more times. We successfully requested the board to install new security cameras at each gate in Riverbend. Installation is complete at the Rainbow Circle main gates. In the area of irresponsible and obstructed driving in Riverbend, we successfully requested the board to adopt a standard 14-foot speed bump package for $560, consisting of 2 6-foot speed bumps, 2 9-inch speed bump end plates, and 2 speed bump warning signs. Residents who wish to purchase a standard speed bump package for their street can have the board's maintenance crew install it. During the next year, we plan to continue to work with the board to do the following: publish and upload on the POA website the completed Welcome to Riverbend package for all new owners, rental guests of owners, and property management companies, acquainting them with the security and safety rules of Riverbend and the many amenities Riverbend offers for their safe enjoyment. Complete installation of cameras and lights at all gated entrances. Replace obsolete gates and complete installation of gates at all entrances. Complete the neighborhood watch telephone tree to further enhance communication in Riverbend and identify houses displaying blue reflective address signs, making them easy to find during a 211 call. 911. Continue to identify, acquire, and install 15-mile-per-hour signs and street signs where needed in Riverbend. Buy and install standard speed bump packages on roads in Riverbend's common areas that experience the heaviest motor vehicle and pedestrian traffic. And finally, purchase handheld radar speed guns that residents may borrow from the POA, use them to develop a case against repeat speeders on their streets, and with the security committee's assistance, bring charges against these speeders in the Riverbend County Magistrates Court. The Rutherford County Magistrates Court. So that's the end of our report. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Need to go back for a moment and based on the agenda, we need to see if there are any objections to the ratification of the budget. If you have any objections, hold up your hand like this, please. And if you don't have video, I'm sorry. Okay. Seeing no objections, we ratified the budget. Thanks. Okay. Now we're going to, I'm going to read the.
Ken?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Karen Bayer. I just had a question for Ed.
Sure.
Well, thank you guys for everything that you're doing to improve things within the security realm. I know that when the map was put out, when we first bought our cabin 4 years ago and got the map down at the office, our road was labeled wrong. And I'm wondering what map you're using. We're on Hummingbird Way. And I can't remember right now what it actually said, but it was something like Huntington. And so the map that you're using to give to either renters or the fire department, I'm just wanting to make sure that it's accurate. So could you check on that?
Yeah, we'll check on that. We'll check the map that's in the gatehouse, and we'll check the map that the gatehouse staff gives out. And we're also in the process of correcting that intersection where
Teal, Hummingbird, and I forget the other one.
and the third street end. But anyway, yeah, sure, we'll check that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Karen. I appreciate that. Keep us honest. All right, so Liz Pfister's committee is in charge of beautification. They'd like to thank the board for making it through our first and hardest year, for taking over a POA with no money, no records, and no transition help, but getting it done. We were able to accomplish a few impressive things on a budget. We were able to get all the signage, gatehouse, and fences in Riverbend painted, with us doing the work, with the help of a few dedicated volunteers, and Don doing paint shopping on the cheap. We were able to get the pavilions pressure washed and the lower 3 pavilions painted. Able to get the funds to stain beach fences, the compactor, and mailboxes. We're able to add to the front landscaping, clean it up, and add new mulch. Looks very nice. We planted new gardens on either side of the gatehouse and lit up the entrance again. We were able to get new trash cans for the beach and do away with the existing cans with broken tops and a rock to keep them together. I will mention too, it looks like we need some more replacement bulbs at the gatehouse. I got a comment about that the other day. We're able to obtain 3 bids to remove a huge tree obstructing the river walk and have the tree removed. That was done in a very timely manner. They plan on planting something in the fall that will grow up on the side of the compactor. Kudzu is very plentiful. We have fall decorating plans for the gatehouse later this month, and of course Christmas at the entrance gate. And these folks do a great job. We did get 3 bids for the old swimming hole cleanup, which will happen eventually, but it was tabled for a later date. There's much more we'd like to beautify and continue to look for hands-on volunteers to join our committee. It's been a pleasure to see the neglect end and Riverbend come back to the beautiful place it deserves to be. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that report. Let me see who's next on the agenda here. All right. All right. Brian, are you prepared to give us a report on the Architectural Control Committee? And do I need to unmute you? I don't see Brian's name right now. He was here earlier, I know. He must have lost his connection. Okay. Moving right along. Kim Gissendanner is here. Kim, are you prepared to tell us about the infrastructure?
Yes, I can give you a brief report. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
wait a minute. You're up here at Don. You're labeled as Don.
I'm actually on Dawn's phone,
Okay.
so
That works.
it says Dawn. So we're making the best of a situation here. So we've done a lot with the roads over the last year. Just in August, this last month, we scraped 24 roads and brought in 22 loads of gravel. And over the last year, obviously we've done a lot more than that. So all the roads are improving. There's still work to be done. Right now we have James Robbins on a 90-day contract, which will be coming to an end soon. And we're looking at some other alternatives to him. And we may keep him. We just, at this point, we have to make a decision based on the quality of the work and the cost of the work, et cetera. We can certainly use some volunteers to help out, being our boots on the ground, seeing what's going on with the roads, and appreciate everyone that's called in and talked to me and sent me emails, that kind of thing. So continue to do that, and we'll try to get out as quickly as we can to address any road problems that are going on. We've replaced several culverts. over the last year, and we're going to be doing more of that. That's going to help with drainage, which is going to improve the roads as we do that. So long term, we're looking at paving on the main road and around Rainbow Circle. We've taken a look at the bridge, and it appears to be okay except for the abutments. Underneath, they're actually timbers, and we're talking about at some point replacing those possibly with concrete, which is going to be a little bit costly. But the bridge itself seems to be actually in pretty good shape, which is good news. So that's basically all I've got for now. The only other thing I'd like to mention is I'm noticing even this morning riding around that there's a lot of driveways, a couple of new driveways that I passed that people are putting in that are either paved or they're concrete. So we've got this enormous watershed coming down on our roads now, and we need to have a discussion, and this needs to involve the ACC, and there needs to be approval for proper draining when those driveways are put in. I think the residents that are building those driveways have no idea what they're doing, but they're literally helping destroy the roads by washing all that water right down into the roadways. So please, if you're putting in a driveway like that and it's not a gravel driveway, take that into consideration and call me or talk to us before you do that. Obviously talk to the ACC, and I'll get with Brian Brader, and we'll see what we can do to make sure we've got proper drainage. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your jumping into this, Kim. All right, I do not see Heather Riley, so we will not have a report from the social committee. And Dawn, have you heard anything that would lead you to believe that the firehouse is viable? I tried calling Sue and didn't get an answer. So I'm assuming,
No, we are not we don't have internet here yet.
okay. There's somebody on an iPad. Maybe it's reports from the front lines. We'll see.
It's in the lights. Do you hear me, Ken?
Yes, what?
Okay.
I didn't hear you then, but I hear you now. Yeah, I heard you. All right, well, I'm sorry we don't have live report from the firehouse. That would have helped a little bit. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda then would be the election results, and we don't have the election results. So what will happen now is there's no reason for us to sit around. It's not like election night. Anyone's going to be calling different states and that sort of thing. So we will just disseminate the election results as soon as possible. Again, what happened was Susan Lucas had a team put together that met yesterday with the existing ballots that we had. They validated all of the ballots and proxies were from members in good standing. They're tabulating those. Additionally, today, they're still accepting ballots and proxies until 2 o'clock at the firehouse, the new Bills Creek Firehouse. And so we're anticipating that counting will not go very long after 2 o'clock. At that point, we will alert everyone through MailChimp and our usual outlets. We'll post it on Facebook, etc. as to the winners. The board members then will be convening, the new board members will be convening, electing president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and director. There'll be 5 of them this year. 2 of them will be on for one-year term based on the new bylaws that we passed a couple weeks ago. And after that, there will be 3 members elected for 2 years in 2021, and then 2 members elected for 2 years in 2022. I'm sorry, that's backwards. 2 members will be elected in 2021, 3 members in 2022. Thereafter, it'll be staggered like that. So there's some continuity, some corporate memory as one board merges with the next one rather than just a direct cutoff. Unlike, at this point, this is going to be the most efficient way for us to stay in contact with our property owners and to maintain the ideas of what last board decided and help with leading the way into that. Additionally, of course, any board member that's been on this year is going to be available for some consultation just because we're all in this together. So I think that's going to work out very well. Okay, I have one more person to admit. This brings us up to 34 people. That's good. That's a good turnout. Basically, I wanted to just say thanks to all the property owners over the years who pushed and prodded the former management and never gave up. The first board of the owners, by the owners, and for the owners is now going to be concluded. It's been my honor to be your president, and I'm sure that Ken Gissendaner and Bennett Porsche agree that without the day-by-day, hour-by-hour involvement of Don Lytle, our accomplishments would have been significantly reduced. I know that the incoming board will build on the framework established by the hard work of committees and board members. I hope that you will continue to support their efforts and volunteer to get involved yourself. All right, let's double check the agenda here, make sure I haven't skipped anything. That looks like where we are. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Ken, this is Karen Bayer again. I
Yes,
just
Karen.
want to thank everybody for everything you guys have done in the last year. I have to tell you, I'm super impressed with all of the work that's been done. The financials, I feel so relieved to know that we finally have money in the reserve. And you guys have done so much in 1 year. It's so empowering that we took over. And I'm just so grateful. I just want to give you all kudos for all of the time and energy you put in and all of the volunteer work that's been done. I feel so proud to be a part of the neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's good. Now I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Only 3 people have their microphones open. Somebody say something.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting is adjourned. We'll be in touch about the election results.
Thank you, Ken.